Here with more is Bloomberg's Konrad Krasuski in Warsaw. Konrad, it's so great to have you on the show today. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. How did this happen?
Hello, everybody. Basically, CD Projekt put all on this particular franchise, which is a futuristic game, very ambitious game, which they tried to build up from 2012. And now they delayed it for like 3 times this year already, due to different difficulties with the frames on the video frames and the different voices that maybe the game is not ready yet. Finally, the game went out on December 10th, and at the first stage, it got very good reviews from the PC version, but then console version, moved forward, and all of a sudden, it looked like that the game is not, very feasible for the all the version of consoles, especially for the Sony PlayStation 4. And we have this very kind of unique moment of the crossroads for the industry, because the new consoles are already on the place from 1 month, but most of the players use the old ones. So the players are not unhappy with how the game performs over there. It means that they probably want to get a refund. And for the company which have only one product, once a 5-year time, it's a little bit like a disaster in terms of reputation at this moment. And we now see it on the stock market because the stock has fallen already 22% today. Yeah.
Wow, 22%. So I mean, it also couldn't come at a worse time. This is the holiday season. This is the most important quarter when it comes to video game consoles, and for products that are certainly supported on these consoles, these games. How big of a deal is it, or how big of a blow is it to Sony?
For the Sony, I wouldn't say it's a kind of much, because I think they move. It's just because they want to protect the reputation of the store. They have many products on their store, and of course, it's more about CD Projekt. There's a question whether the games at all can be very feasible at the very start point, where they need all these patches around, and because it seems like there is no end product. The games are continuously changed, and games are continuously being so ambitious they need to be fixed after the release. So the question remains, what is the tolerance ratio for these kind of fixes? In the case of CD Projekt, probably the tolerance ratio is, already exceeded.
So based on your reporting, is there any timeline when this game will be re-released? And then how does Sony do that after giving refunds for it? Is the reputation of the game just shot?
Basically, the Warsaw studio of CD Projekt is working hard now for the different patches and bugs. They promised, or they did it already one last week. They do the next one, I think, over these days. And they promised some big portion of patches, a big update in the start of the next year. So everybody thinks that after this big update, the Sony can allow game again to be sold via their platform. Having said that, I mean, there's a strong timing issue. As you mentioned, the Christmas period is the best time for any game maker to do the release, and most of them did it already. Cyberpunk was the last big game to be released, and probably there are many of Christmas packaging, waiting for the gifts and waiting for the opening during this Christmas Eve. And there's a question what these people will do with this game. They will wait for the updates, and what will be the reaction after? We still don't know exactly, how it will be, how the impact would be, because CD Projekt doesn't give you exact numbers of the refund scale. But we believe, and some analysts believe, that the impact will be a kind of massive one, because it's not only about how much people would like to refund over the last 2 weeks, but it's about who won't buy this game in the future because of this product.
What are we hearing, if anything, from Microsoft, the maker of Xbox? Have we heard anything from them?
I mean, we know from the history that the relation between Microsoft and the CD Projekt was very kind of a stronger one. I mean, they had the common events for the before the big computer game fairs. I mean, joint events, and so we believe that Microsoft is still hanging around and thinking, what they should do. We don't know the clear answer from them. CD Projekt said that they are in talks with Microsoft, and there is nothing like, there is a plan to get this game out of the Xbox platform. But, everything is changing in terms of the Cyberpunk so fast that it's very difficult to predict what will be next week, what will be the next day, because it's a very dynamic situation. For sure, the managers of CD Projekt do that as much as possible to avoid the second, hit from the Microsoft, but we are not sure whether it's possible at this moment.
Bloomberg's Konrad Krasuski in Warsaw, Poland. Konrad, thanks for your time and for your great reporting about this. And absolutely really rare move for Sony to pull this and offer refunds to people who bought it.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.